Max Verstappen claimed pole position in the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix qualifying will start at the front for Saturday's sprint after outpacing Charles Leclerc in a dramatic damp shootout that played host to 5 red flags. An instant back quali taking place on Friday instead of Saturday and setting the grid for the sprint race ran 40 minutes past the scheduled finish due to the many stoppages and crashes, the last of which benefiting Verstappen in Q3 an opportune moment. The world champion edged ahead of Leclerc through the opening laps of Q3 before a red flag, and just when the championship leader looked to have a chance to hit back, Norris crash caused another stoppage. With just 40 seconds remaining in qualifying, that effectively secured Verstappen with pole with a 1:27.999, having been managed in difficult conditions as heavier rain fell in Q3. He will head the grid for Saturday sprint, and the shortened race of 21 laps will start at 3:30 UK time tomorrow. The late Norris crash in Q3 also bizarrely aided himself as it sealed third place ahead of Kevin Magnussen in Haas' best ever qualifying result. From Q3 was Carlos Sainz, with the Ferrari driver having spurned his chance of pole with another costly mistake by crashing in Q2, and Mercedes, who enjoyed another miserable day and suffered a 10-year low, with for the first time since the 2012 Japanese Grand Prix neither silver car making it through to Q3 as George Russell qualified only 11th for the sprint and Lewis Hamilton 13th. Mercedes' fate was sealed by Sainz's crash at the start of the segment, which preceded more rain and ensured that none of the drivers in the bottom 5 would be able to achieve better times. But in truth, it looks unlikely Mercedes would advance regardless, with Hamilton only scraping through to Q2 by 4 thousandths of a second and Russell not much further. I think we underperformed as a day today, so downbeat Hamilton. There are things we should have done that we didn't do. Each weekend is a rescue at the moment. You may be wondering what caused all of these red flags, so I'll run through the 5. First of all, Alex Albon with a fire on the right rear brake which led to a tyre explosion before even setting a lap, and then Carlos Sainz in Q2 crashed at Ravazza after losing control of the Ferrari had gone on his second lap in Q2, and then Kevin Magnussen in Q3, one of many drivers to spin off at Aquaminari, breached in the gravel but managed to get out, and then you got Valtteri Bottas who stopped in the gravel with an issue that Alfa haven't disclosed yet, and finally Lando Norris who crashed out in the dying embers of Q3, which effectively secured the Verstappen pole. Following complaints from drivers during the sprint debut campaign last year, there has been a pole position clarification for 2022. Last year, the winner of the sprint was awarded pole for the record books, but pole is now credited to the driver who sets the fastest time in Q3, as is usually the case on a weekend. So Verstappen has pole, and it will start at the front of the grid for Saturday sprint. However, the driver who wins the sprint will start Sunday's main Grand Prix from first, i.e. pole position. Very confusing, I know. But the sprint is back for the first time in 2022 this weekend, and it's expected title protagonist Verstappen and Leclerc will share the front row for the mini race. The sprint, as third distance of the usual Grand Prix, will take place over 21 laps in Imola, and we'll see drivers race flat out from start to finish with their final finishing positions setting the grid for Sunday's race. It will also give Verstappen a chance to reclaim points after his 2 DNS in 3 race starts to 2022. The top 8 drivers will score points from this year in the sprint, with the winner collecting 8. And yeah, the sprint will begin at 3:30, and before it there's a final practice where drivers will likely be honing in on their race setup, even though they can't change setup. And so yeah, it's a bit of a pointless practice session as we saw last year, but still more F1 action, which can't be a bad thing. Before I go, let me run you through the final classification. Max Verstappen on pole. I mean, like, it's a bit confusing at the end because I thought he'd have his lap time taken away as there was double yellow. Thought that was a new rule, but clearly not. But anyway, yeah, good luck from him to take pole. Charles Leclerc in second. I think he'll be frustrated because pole was definitely on the table today. Had Norris not had his off, but that's still a great result for him. Norris and Magnussen, yeah, outstanding. Both really great results. I think Alonso will be pleased as well. Ricciardo in 6th, not too far off his teammate. And yeah, on the whole for McLaren, I don't think they were expecting to be quite strong this weekend, so they'll be pleased with that. Perez in 7th, so I think got caught out by the red flag, so yeah, he'll be disappointed, but at least he's got the sprint tomorrow to make up positions. Then you've got Bottas in 8th, obviously had to break down at the end, hopefully that's nothing too bad, but yeah, decent enough from him, especially in wet, which hasn't been his strongest in the past. Vettel in 9th, that's a great job for him, and Aston Martin, big improvement from last week, hopefully they can stay there in sprint tomorrow. But yeah, Sainz in 10th, disappointing, and then Russell and Hamilton, I just don't know what's going on with Mercedes at the moment, but it's such a shame, because yeah, you really want to see them up there in the fight. Mick Schumacher in 12th, I think where his teammate is, I think he will be disappointed as well. And Guan Yu Zhou, he did a really good job, and I thought he could have had a decent chance of getting into Q3 based off his Q1 performance. So yeah, got it caught out with a red flag, was disappointing. Stroll in 15th, I think kind of similar thing really. And then out for Tauris, yeah, they went nowhere today. Sonoda actually putting 3/10 on Gasly, which is a really good job from him. And then so close to beating Lewis Hamilton, which obviously is a shame. And then yeah, you've got Latifi in 18th, Ocon in 19th, and Albon in 20th. Ocon and Albon obviously having technical issues, which was frustrating for them, especially for Ocon really. But yeah, Williams not a great day for them at all. Anyway guys, that's it for you. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, make your thoughts, comments down below. Follow us in the description for daily F1 news. Subscribe to my channel and screen that would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.